You know, I should probably take these off. Also, am I even going the right way? I don't think I am. Okay, now I need to go down. Well, regardless, I'm going to take them off really quick. Now, here's the thing I hate about the iron boots, is I wish there was a way you could just put them on and take them off really quick, as opposed to going into the menu every single time. Because that's going to be one of the more annoying parts of the water temple, at least in my opinion. I hate doing all that constant switching. It's really, really irritating. And they actually fixed that in the 3DS version of the game. They actually made the iron boots an equipable item, which is really, really nice. You have less item spots, but it really doesn't bother me that much, to be honest. So we're going to test out the boots really quick in this area. You have a timer for how long you have left before you stop breathing, but we'll have plenty of time to do this. Because at the very bottom of this pool, we have another heart piece. We've been collecting a lot of these, it seems like. And you know what? I'm going to actually collect another one in a little bit, too. Actually, it won't even be a little bit, because we have a lot of stuff we're going to take care of before we move on to the next part. Actually, why am I swimming that way? We want to go over here, back to where Zora's domain is. Oh, come on. Oh, I guess that works too. So, let's get back our blue fire here. And let's unmelt that frozen big king, shall we? That sounds like a good idea to me. I'm also going to check one thing downstairs really quick. Because I think the item shop down here is also frozen over with red ice. Also, yeah, that would totally break the ice. Although, I don't know, maybe if it's a thick enough sheet, it wouldn't. And it would really hurt Link as a result, but, I don't know, I didn't program the ice in this game. That would be Nintendo's doing. So the reason why I want to go to the item shop really quick is I'm actually going to buy some arrows. 90 rupees, but I can spare them, honestly. This way I'm stocked up on arrows from after doing all that Poe hunting earlier. Anyway, let's go ahead and go back and talk to King Zora, because we're going to take care of two things while we're here. I also love how he's still like on the side of his chair. Looks like he hasn't moved at all in the 7 years he's been there. So first we're just going to talk to him normally. Oh, I've come back to life. Was it you who saved me? Don't be nervous. It looks like you have a hard time breathing underwater. As an expression of my gratitude, I grant you this tunic. With this, you won't choke underwater. So here we have the Zora tunic. The diving suit is adult size, so it won't fit a kid. Wear it and you won't drown underwater. Definitely necessary for where we're going next, for sure. And we also have this prescription to give him. Ooh, this is, well, eye drops. You might say we have them, you might say we don't. We do have the ingredients. If you take the ingredients to the doctor at the Lake Laboratory, he can make the drops for you. But you need to deliver them fresh. Can you make it before they spoil? I think so. So yeah, like the mushroom earlier, we have to make it all the way to Lake Hylia in 3 minutes. Which really isn't that hard to do, especially if you have Epona. It's even possible without Epona, too. You don't need Epona to do this. But having Epona does make it a lot easier, at least in my opinion. But the quickest way to get there, and also keep this in mind, you cannot use Ocarina songs. If you use an Ocarina song, as soon as you warp to the location, the game's going to be like, oh no, they spoiled. Like, so you can't warp, unfortunately. Warping would make this one extremely easy, because the warp song we got from Sheik actually takes us directly to Lake Hylia. So, we're definitely not going to be able to cheat here. But still, it takes about a minute to get out of the Zora area, so it's not really that bad. And then, if you have Epona, making it across Hyrule Field won't take too long either. And again, you don't even need Epona for that either. It just makes sense to use Epona. I mean, if you have the way to get speed, use that speed. I feel like that's definitely something you need to do. Also, hey Epona, sorry you were, I kind of left you at Gerudo Valley, I think, is where you last were. Okay, well, all I have to do now is just make it over the field. Actually, I better go. No, I'm right. I keep forgetting that Lake Hylia is the entrance on the very bottom of the map. There we go. And this is the place where we want to be, so I think we made it here in some pretty good time. Nah, I better do this first. Also, you have to be in like the right position before you actually give it to him. One time I made it to the very end when I was a kid with only like 3 seconds left. I went up to him, I showed him the item, but it didn't count, and then I had to do the whole thing over again. It was really annoying. Oh, wow! I haven't seen an eyeball frog like this since Zora's domain froze over. These eyeballs are so delicious. Tonight I will cook fried eyeballs for the first time in a long time. Such great stuff. Please say thank you to King Zora. Eh? What? These are for making Big Goron's eye drops? Oh, how disappointing. You should have said so in the first place. Well, you didn't exactly give me a chance to. You old, crepit old fool. Here it is. This medicine doesn't have any preservatives in it, so it won't last long at this temperature. Run as fast as you can to Death Mountain. You're young, you can do it. So, we have the world's finest eye drops, but we also have a timer again. This is what I find really, really annoying. So now we have to take these eye drops all the way to Big Goron in 4 minutes. And it's quite a climb. I'm not going to lie, it's quite the climb. There are a couple ways you could do this. More so the ending, not so much this part. As usual, though, you can't warp. Warping is completely not allowed. Don't even try it. Don't even bother. So the most direct route is obviously just going like to Kakariko, climbing Death Mountain, and doing it that way. But if you don't want to do that giant wall, which could really screw you up if you're not careful, you could also go through Goron City. Go through the crater up to the very top, which is pretty much what I did when I, yeah, that's pretty much what I did when I went to go see Big Goron the first time. But yeah, definitely don't dawdle here, because I think no matter which route you choose, you're going to be cutting it pretty damn close. So just go fast. Go as fast as you can. That's really all I can suggest, honestly. Okay, get off the horse, please. Thank you. So yeah, pretty much up to your discretion about which way you go. Hard to say what the fastest route would be, though. I suppose the most direct route is probably the fastest. Or if you want to be cute about it, you could go to Kakariko Forest, through the Lost Woods, to Goron City, to the crater, and up there. You could also do it that way, I guess, if you wanted to, but I don't know. I might just want to take the direct route. I really hate that wall, though. I hate the wall just because of those spiders, because you have to take care of those spiders before you do anything. And of course that happened. I don't think that's going to screw me up too much, though. Also, that red flag right there, if you stand at the base of that and play the Song of Storm, I believe that's another location where you could get the Super Fairy that I talked about earlier. The health and magic restoring one. Yeah, this is probably going to be the smartest thing to do. And at least I have arrows. Having arrows does make this pretty fast. Because with arrows, you can pretty much snipe these guys. Oh, there's only three of them anyway. Perfect. Yep, I'm going to be able to make it there just in time. I hope there's not a fourth spider I forgot about. I don't think there is, though, so I think we're good. Okay, Big Goron, I'm here. Give me your eyes so I can pour stuff into them. Really? You brought the eye drops? I'm so relieved. I'm going to use them right now. Wow! This is stimulating. It's working great. Now I can get back to my blade business. My work is not very consistent, so I'll give this to you so you won't forget. After a few days, please return. Wait, just wait patiently. So here we have the Big Goron sword. You got a claim check for it. You can't wait for the sword to be completed. So I believe you have to essentially wait 3 days for this to go through. And the best way to do that is just to play the Sun Song. And don't worry, I think even if like he's on screen, like it'll still count. Like it'll still count as a change of day. I'm pretty sure it does anyway. It'd be kind of a pain if it wasn't. Okay. That sword is my finest work. And here we have the Biggorn sword. This blade was forged by a master smith and won't break. So, the Biggorn sword is essentially the level 3 sword. Here's the thing, though. This sword, it is definitely more powerful, but you hold it in a very weird way. It's kind of like you having the Hylian shield as a kid, where you can't really use the shield that effectively with the Biggorn sword. So you definitely have to keep that in mind. And, well, obviously you have to use... Actually, he's still using one hand, isn't he? No, I think he's using both hands. So yeah, that's pretty much the final sword of the game. Now, because I got this sword pretty early, you're probably thinking I'm just going to be like spamming this sword for the rest of the game. That's actually not true. Even though the Biggoron sword is more powerful, I actually prefer using the Master Sword, just because it honestly feels right. It feels more right than the Biggoron sword does. And I'm only going to get the Biggoron sword to showcase kind of a trick for beating an upcoming mid-boss a lot easier. That's pretty much the only reason why I got the sword now. Aside from that, though, I'm going to still try to stick to using the normal Master Sword. Just because, again, it feels more right, and I feel like it's also more fair, too. Because enemies seriously die really, really quickly to the Biggoron sword. Like, very, very quickly. It's like the enemies forget what life is whenever you use the Biggoron sword. That's pretty much what it's like. So the reason why I'm climbing down Death Mountain normally instead of just warping to Lake Hylia is there is one little secret in Hyrule Field I want to pick up before I move on. Okay, so the first thing we're going to get is we're going to put a bomb at this tree, a little northwest of Lon Lon Ranch. You'll find a grotto, and inside this grotto you'll find a nice little pool of water, which now that we have the iron boots, also I can put this on too. We can float down to the very bottom and grab a heart piece. I think this is only one of 3 grottos in Hyrule Field that actually have something. There's a lot of other grottos, but they don't really give you anything that worthwhile. So the only ones you want to get is you want to get the one near Kakariko that has the Skulltula, one near Gerudo Valley that has the Skulltula, and this one that has the heart piece. There might be a few other ones, but if so, they just give you like fairies or something else, something that's really not as important as these 3 key items. But obviously, you explore them on your own terms. And having the Stone of Agony, which is the second Skulltula reward we got, could actually be very helpful for finding those areas, just because, you know, it rumbles your controller whenever you're near something, so that is definitely a good, useful tool of the Stone of Agony in finding these secrets, but as far as, like, actually getting stuff from them, there's really not a whole lot to discuss with that. Also, let me turn around here. There we go. So yes, we're going to go back to Lake Hylia now. You could have just used the song, the Ocarina song. I chose not to, because I had to come over there for that anyway. We're actually going to go very quickly back to the Lakeside Laboratory, or Laboratory, whatever you want to call it. Gonna talk to him again. Hello there, son. I'm researching the process of making medicine by mixing Lake Hylia's water with various unusual compounds. Perhaps you've met that old lady from the potion shop. She is like a student of mine. Ho ho ho. Okay, never mind. I guess you don't have to do that. But we're gonna basically put on the iron boots, and we're gonna dive to the very bottom of this lake. Now, this is normally a minigame, where basically if you dive to the very bottom and you go back up and talk to the lady, she'll actually give you a piece of heart, but we do not have the capabilities of diving all the way to the bottom yet. We can only, like, sink to the bottom. But, with that being said, there is a Skulltula down here. You can't use your sword underwater, but you can use the hookshot. And that is how we get this little guy. But yeah, we'll be coming back to get the other reward later. It won't be too much longer anyway. I think we can technically do that as soon as we beat the next temple, so we can do it. We can do it if we try, if we put our mind to it anyway. But with that being said, we are going to go to the water temple now. Water Temple is located in the middle of Lake Hylia. Unfortunately, though, it's closed off. Oh no, we came all the way here for nothing. Well, thankfully with the iron boots, and as we just learned, the capabilities of underwater hook shots. We can enter the water temple. Oh, I know a lot of people have been looking forward to this. Very much so. I know this is a very, very famous temple for a lot of people, for many reasons, and now we're going to tackle it on our own. How fun is that? Well, first off, we're going to sink to the very bottom here. Oh! Look who it is. Oh, you, if I'm right, Slim? You're Slim, aren't you? It's me, your fiancée, Ruto, Princess of the Zoras. I never forgot the vows we made to each other 7 years ago. You're a terrible man to have kept me waiting for these 7 long years. But now it's not the time to talk about love. I'm sure you've already seen it. Zora's domain, totally frozen. A young man named Sheik saved me from under the ice. But my father and the other Zoras have not, yet. I want to save them all. I want to save Zora's domain. You have to help me. This is a request from me, the woman who is going to be your wife. Slim, you have to help me destroy the evil monster inside the temple, okay? Inside the water temple, there are 3 places where you can change the water level. I'll lead the way. Follow me quickly. Wow, she has some huge earrings. Like, seriously, those earrings were so big. So, yes, Princess Ruto is still alive. I mean, we knew she was, because, obviously, Sheik said that he/C saved her. And here, Ruto actually said that Sheik was a male, so I guess because of that, we'll be referring to Sheik as a male from now on. But as she said, there are 3 places where you can change the water level, and this is the first one right here. Before we do that, though, let's go in here and take on these enemies. This place has some really, really annoying enemies. Not so much these guys. These guys are pretty tame in comparison to another enemy I'm thinking about. You basically just have to use the hook shot to kill these guys. Pretty simple. And with that, we'll get the first dungeon item, which I think is going to be the map. It usually is. It's usually the map, so that's probably what it's going to be. But yeah, because you can change the water level, you can probably expect this to be a huge water level event. And that's pretty much what it is. It requires you to do a lot of exploring, a lot of changing the water level, and essentially trying different things with the different water levels.